This is the weekly reading for the period of September 4th through the 10th. It's going to cover Labor Day weekend. I guess some of y'all going back to school. A bunch of y'all in the South are probably already in school, perhaps in other countries. But here in the North, people will be going back to school, I guess, this week. What else? I don't know. Let's get started. There are some actual transit, pretty major transits that occurred this week. So, is it the 6th? I think it's the 6th. Venus enters Virgo, where the sun currently is and where the new moon recently was, and we're still probably feeling some energy from it. And on the 9th, 9/9 at 11:38 p.m., I think it is, so it's like 9/9, 11/11, Mercury goes retrograde in Libra. So I think it's going to be going back and forth between Libra and Virgo. While it's in retrograde, but it starts in Libra. And there's something else. Oh, Pallas enters Cancer this week. So we can think about those things. With the dice, we're starting with buy shoes, living room, stay in bed, no, and foreplay. I'm sorry. So I've been seeing and feeling a lot of things. There's going to be some like one-night stands and stuff, or maybe something that starts as a one-night stand. No judgment, I'm just telling you I saw it. Been there, done that myself. Well, like I said, may start as a one-night stand, or what you think is going to be a one-night stand, and then keep going, because I definitely had a relationship like that. So there could be stuff like that. I also saw like proposals of different kinds, maybe entering different kinds of commitment. Could be business, could be relationship proposals. The answer is yes. Positivity in like legal affairs, justice in your favor. Maybe even some like inheritances or lump sums coming, like 10 of Pentacles kind of energy. Security, stability, just really awesome stuff. So here I have what might be a Virgo and I say what might be a Virgo because of the Hermit with the Tower behind it, and also Strength. So this Virgo, I don't know if you ever noticed before, but usually in the Hermit card, they're holding like a lantern or flashlight or something. And also a Sith, I think. If we see the Hermit here, I'll point it out. And like in one of the other decks. This is the Modern Witch Tarot, so it's a little different. This one doesn't have a lantern or a light or anything, or it doesn't even have the Sith. But it has a laptop. And looks like a female or a feminine energy. And she's like peeking. So I think that with the lantern, it's like they may always, this person, even if they have gone into seclusion, they like keep the light on for you. You can still, you're welcome to check on them, or they may still be, checking in on you or watching you from afar and you don't realize. In this case, it's like they're looking at you, maybe on social media, maybe they're reading like old emails between the two of you, or looking at pictures of something that they have online, or, saved in their computer or something like that. They're checking things out, though. They're not just spending time alone and being in seclusion and thinking about only themselves or working on only themselves. They're looking, doing some sort of research on someone or something there also. So they may see something that like changes everything. It's a game changer. It shocks the shit out of them or whatever. And I guess for some, it could be sort of overwhelming, and they'll need like support, strength to, get them through this experience. They could receive maybe like an email with some sort of news that changes something in their life, or something that causes them to have like an epiphany. Now, on this side, there's a Queen of Swords. Her back is turned, or their backs are turned to each other. But in the middle is the Three of Cups, followed by the Two of Wands. I didn't even realize that. So one probably ghosted the other. We also have the High Priestess underneath this Five of Pentacles. She is in reverse. But sometimes the High Priestess, I've mentioned it before, can be a card of like ghosting or something because, you know, she likes to keep things to herself. She likes to do research and thinking and whatnot in private. So one may have pulled away from the other, or both may have pulled away from each other and, you know, gone into like their own bag or whatever. But these two, I mean, the Two of Wands is like the twin flame card of the tarot. So they have a major connection, and like the faith that even though they turned away from each other, the faith, because the Two of Wands is about faith, that they will reconnect is there. So under the Queen of Swords, we have Judgment. Judgment is about second chances, not just in relationships, but in general. It's also, this is like purgatory, and right, this is Archangel Gabriel with his horn. So if you know anything about purgatory, heaven, earth, you know, earth is the plane that we're on down here, or at least we believe it to be something this is hell to, which is also believable because, well, I won't get into it, but I'll just quickly say if the devil fell down here from heaven and this is his domain, it makes sense that this could be hell. But in any case, we're made to believe that there's earth, then there's heaven, and before you get to heaven, you go up, but before you actually get to heaven, because who was it? Not Daniel. Oh goodness, I can't think of his name. Can't think of the saint's name that explored the seven floors of and described them, the 7 floors of heaven. But anyway, one level is this purgatory place. It's sort of like you're in between. You're in limbo, kind of like with the hangman, because you're in between heaven and earth. And with the Judgment card, the reason it's like a depiction there, there's like something that you thought was like dead is risen, you know, is not dead. It comes back to life, or it's rejuvenated or something like that. So that's the second chance. And this Queen of Swords has probably been praying that that would happen, because we have the star behind Major Arcana card Judgment. We have Major Arcana card the Star. So this is about wish fulfillment. Also represents the sign of Aquarius, as does the Queen of Swords. Most directly represents the sign of Aquarius, although she can also be a Gemini or a Libra, or someone that's like into those traits or attributes. It's not an air sign at all, or has a lot of air in her chart, you know, or his chart. That's also possible. And not only is this like wish fulfillment, but probably something that she's been, or he's been waiting for. Like it's a woman on the card, but don't get caught up in the gender. Waiting for a long time, working toward, and now it's possible because a cycle has ended. Right, because we got the World here. And the World, you see, it also has like this wreath. And these wreaths, for me, are symbolic of success, winning, right? So it's not just that a cycle, you know, slowly but finally came to an end. It's like you ended up on like you came out better for it, what you experienced, even if it was tough. So that's a win. Behind that, and I guess I could keep going on and on, is the Ten of Wands. So tens are also about an end of a cycle, right? Should be able to like put these wands down. And we have an Ace of Swords. I mean, like, I definitely could keep going because there's still more upright cards. We have the Ace of Swords, a card, another card of victory, success, the truth coming out, justice being served. And then, okay, this is the last upright card, Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot. So it's about some sort of movement. It's another card. This is also a card of victory too, by the way. So there's a lot of victory showing up here for this Queen of Swords. And that is probably an indication that her wish comes true, even though their backs are turned to each other. So maybe neither one of them sees this coming. And that may be what the Tower is about too. Actually, when I said the next card that wasn't upright, it's Strength. It's in reverse, but it's Strength. So like this deck has the Strength card here underneath the Hermit. So yeah, they may not see this coming. Under Strength is the Devil reverse. So whatever she was stuck in, whatever was holding her back, or fear or some other restriction or perceived restriction, is also gone, and he's shocked into something. And so whatever that is, it probably brings these people back together. So I realized I was supposed to be doing the dice, and I went off on a whole thing because I sort of like saw a story unfolding. Atop this Two of Wands, which is atop, again, the Five of Pentacles, is the Three of Cups. So very unexpectedly, I just mixed up these cards. Very unexpectedly, this Queen of Swords, who, again, doesn't have to be an air sign, could just be, you know, somebody very independent. Maybe she's very independent because, you know, she had a partner and they went away. So she had to do things for herself. Kind of stubborn. And this person may or may not be stubborn, but they are somebody who also pulled away and went into themselves. But with the Three of Cups in the middle, there's some sort of reuniting. And with the Tower there, I think the reuniting is sudden. It's very sudden. Maybe it's brought on by something. The Hermit gets some sort of information, and that causes them to want to reach out or something and tell the truth. Ace of Swords. But something happens, and there's somebody is reunited. So it may very well be an earth sign and an air sign, or even more specifically, a Virgo and an Aquarius that are reunited this week. But say what the dice say, we got spend money, bedroom, it's 50-50, so give and take, yin and yang. It could go either way. A soft yes, a soft no, a maybe, you know. Maybe literally splitting something down the middle. Could mean a few different things. The ability to both give and receive. And then here with the dice, we have a wet and wild. So that often speaks of fire and water for me. Although, like I said, right now we're starting with air and earth. And massage is the last one. So I'm going to try to take 2 cards from each of these decks. You know what? Let's give them a cut first. I shuffled as always. I just don't want to shuffle again now. In the interest of time. Although I like shuffling in front of you guys so that when the cards come out the way they do, often kind of miraculous, you saw me do it. So anyway, everything is fine. So it may feel like something's not fine. So again, using this example, back to each other, they're not speaking, they pulled away, they were breadcrumbing each other, or one ghosted the other, or they both like just sort of disappeared and never gave the other an explanation. But everything is fine. 10 of Pentacles. Didn't I say this when I started talking? Another Queen of Swords. So this is exactly what I said. You know, this is like the missing an opportunity, the being bored, the being to herself. And look at all. There's the Hermit. Also, you saw me like cut in like 10 different piles. There's the Tower. All right, so it's like, please look at my offer. Look what look what the universe is trying to give us. Pay attention, Queen. Wake up. Everything's fine. Might as well cut this one first too. But what I was saying is I'm going to try to take 2 cards from each deck. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to try something. It's something I do when I'm by myself sometimes, when I'm guided to read for myself, which isn't often, but when it does happen. Look at all these kings. King of Cups. Okay, this one's a knight. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. King of Swords. King of Pentacles also in reverse. The Fool. The Four of Wands. And here goes the Queen of Swords yet again. She too is in reverse in this deck. I think there's a lot of options and stuff. Well, that also makes sense because there's a lot of like, I know I've fully been immersed in Empress energy, and I do not believe I'm alone. I think a lot of us have finally just stepped into our power in a more permanent way. I mean, like, I've seen Empress energy before, I've been in it before, but I just feel like I'm here to stay this time. Like, I'm not going back down to Queen, and certainly not tonight or Paige, you know what I mean? It's like, meet me here. This is where I am. And there is a decision that has to be made by somebody. So it could be between all those kings, like which one? So I want to try to get two. Let's see. Well, here we have a King of Pentacles that's upright. This is way too many cards, but I do want to show you the King of, did want to show you the King of Pentacles. He's like, I'm okay. Because in that deck he was messed up. All right. Let's see if we can get just two. It'll be kind to me. Just give this. Oh. No, that's three. So let's make note of these. Four of Swords upright. Knight of Pentacles upright, making an offer after having healed and taken a break. And it's going to be like an equal offer. This is equity. This is reciprocity. Whereas, you know, this is balance. Whereas it may not have existed in this relationship before. Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Communication, movement. In fact, we have somebody here taking off on a motorcycle. Can I just get like two? One at a time is fine. Just two clear cards as quickly as possible. There's one. Okay. Maybe I messed that up. They're trying to give me one. There's two. And we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. Now as the overall energy. Ten of Swords in reverse. And the Sun in reverse. So there was some sort of betrayal, hurt, pain, maybe even surgery. Maybe somebody with cancer had surgery. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting like, you know, radiation and surgery. These are our first two cards. These are our next two cards. King of Cups is somehow still at the bottom. Oh, did I mention the full moon? I don't think I mentioned that one. That's on the 10th. The full moon in Pisces. Knight of Cups. Again with the characters. So many. So many. But they are trying to show us something. Death. The Five of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Death was in reverse too. This is coming across as like financial more than relationship. But some it could have been relationship. Or maybe competition, like for a job, for a position, for a raise or something. Hangman. He's in reverse, like he's made a decision. He's standing upright. Judgment at the bottom. There's the other card. And since this is the smaller pile, I'm going to put it back here. And now we have that Hangman. And he's now in reverse. I mean, he's now He's now upright. He was, a minute ago, it was like he had made a decision. So anyway, he's atop the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Wands. These three are all upright. So this person is making a decision. They're deciding whether or not to make a sacrifice, whether or not to let something go, which is a sacrifice, even if it's just like an emotion or an ideology, a belief system, a practice, whatever it is, it's in the way of them moving forward. And so in order to be able to move forward, they have to sacrifice this thing. Like, I got to let this go. I got to get this out of the way. Even though this feels comfortable, this is familiar, I know this thing. And as miserable as it makes me sometimes, it may be easier to keep this around than to venture out into something unknown. But because we saw him this way, there's an indication that, you know, he is going to make a decision. Say, I want to get out of this limbo. I want to relinquish this belief system or let go of this grudge I've been holding or whatever it is. And then the reward is this. Something is anew or renewed or brand new, or there's also spiritual awakening, enlightenment, increased psychic awareness, ability. The Hangman represents the energy of Pisces. The Ace of Cups is also water. But it's like, this is another like divine gifts from the universe, from God, being handed to you. Very emotionally fulfilling. And it may include some sort of movement in a situation that had been stuck, or very likely will, because again, this is about a situation being stuck. This is limbo. This is an air of suspension, right? This is when nothing's happening. I'm just hanging here in the balance. This is where it all of a sudden is moving again. And that movement can include communication a lot of the time. We also have the Six of Swords. So I wanted to pull these this way this week. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay. Wanted to pull these this way this week for our energy that most directly represents us, our surrounding energy, our work and finance, our love and relationship, our physical health, and our spiritual health. But I also wanted to be able to look at the cards in a different way. Like this Six of Swords mirrors this Knight of Cups. So there is an offer, an action taken towards somebody, and it moves that person into a better place, into calmer, stiller waters. It's like we can happily move forward with this Knight of Cups mirroring this Six of Swords, with the Three of Wands mirroring this Knight of Cups. Somebody possibly that's at a distance from us, maybe even across water, and or something that we've been trying to manifest for a long time that's going to make us really emotionally happy is coming to fruition, right? There will be at least the beginnings of that energy this week, at least like the underpinnings. This person's back is turned to the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups' back is actually turned to them too. And so you might not see this coming, like this thing that you've been trying to manifest. Right, we start with the Ace of Wands. That's the thought, the idea, the new, opportunity. Then we get to the Two of Wands. That's the faith, as I mentioned earlier. I believe that this is actually going to come to pass, right? Then we get to the Three, and we can sort of see something out there on the horizon. Like, oh, I see it taking form. But still not realizing how close it is. How, soon it's actually going to materialize. You're actually going to manifest it. So that's what's meant by the backs being turned, is that, oh my goodness, I had no idea this was right there. I had no idea I was about to receive this thing. And it is like some sort of action toward you again that makes you emotionally happy. It's an offer or an action of love, or, some sort of positive emotions with the Knight of Cups upright. A lot of times for me, the Knight of Cups is representative of like an ex, which, as I mentioned, Mercury retrograde, often brings people from our past and, particularly exes. We got two Knights of Cups here, which is why I wanted to use all the decks, just in case any of the cards wanted to repeat, and look, one did. Lastly, mirroring each other, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. So this Page of Pentacles could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, or with, you know, a lot of heavy earth in their chart. And similarly, this is another court card. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 court cards in a 6-card spread, which is kind of interesting, like a lot of characters. This Knight of Swords is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Now, in traditional tarot, the Knight is the Gemini. I typically pick up the pages as the mutable signs, though. So Gemini is a mutable sign. Like if I saw a page, I would more so say Gemini. But traditional tarot, the Knight is the Gemini. This page for me, therefore, would, you know, very likely be a Virgo, like we saw earlier with the Hermit. But does not have to be, of course. Doesn't even have to be an Earth sign at all. But this could be somebody who is making an offer. This person is rushing toward this one. This one is more slow moving, but has something in its hand to give. In romance, the Knight of Swords is one of these cards that comes in so fast that you get swept off your feet. And you can see he is the fastest knight of the 4. You know, the most decisive, you know, he can change his movement, his direction in, you know, like the blink of an eye. Unlike the earth signs, who are more methodical, beginning with the page, but certainly the Knight of Pentacles is very slow moving and methodical and has everything planned out. So that's why he's said to be the only knight that reaches his goal. Like this one may not reach his original goal. He may change goals, you know, midway because his, you know, he's so flighty, I guess is the best word I can think of. Like just ready to take action, but like just, oh, now I'm focused on this, now I'm focused on that. But in this right here, he's focused very much on this person and running toward them. This person is also approaching him. But again, like I said, with a gift in hand, an offer of some sort. This is often an apology. And the Knight of Swords is also going to be very positive toward them. So if it is an apology, somebody's making you an apology, then you are accepting that apology. Also, maybe the Knight of Swords is first giving this person information. And they're saying, oh, okay, now I get it. Now that I have that information, I have something to offer you too and say something to you. So that's another possibility. So getting to the card that's most directly representing the collected this week, it is the Knight of Cups. Again, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Very positive card, good omen, optimistic, you know, so thinking positive is what this is about too. Somebody could come bearing messages. If so, these are usually like, you know, very kind, or the way it's conveyed is in a very kind manner. This is good news. This is something that you want to hear, that you want to receive. It makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And, you know, this is just somebody who tells you things are going to be all right, or things are going well. And you are likely to feel sort of like ready, you know, because you feel, you emotionally feel good, you're emotionally happy, then you're like ready for whatever like life hands you, right? You're ready for the day, you're ready to take action. Nights are about action, the way that I read the energy. And maybe you're taking action on some good news, you know, and if you haven't already received good news, or if there is something, particularly in the area of love and relationship, right? The emotions, the realm of emotions and of the heart. Not only are you getting good news in that area, very possibly, but well, if you're not getting it already, and you don't feel like you get it this week, but I think it's going to be this week. We got 2 of them. This is very, very soon. Something that's going to make you feel better. So. Or feel good. Feel better suggests that you don't feel good already. So this is the card that's most directly representing the collective, and it's this way in pretty much every area of your life. So in work, things are moving ahead nicely, and very positive. There could be, something that you're expecting that you're waiting to hear. Maybe again you're competing for a promotion and you're waiting to hear about it, and the information that you get is good, or there's accomplishments that you're being recognized for that you can be proud of, even if you're not being recognized for them. It's just a good energy at work. And in love, of course, is very positive. It can be about relationships, deepening of relationships, or someone taking action towards you in another way, maybe offering you commitment. That may be what's inside the cup, is some level of commitment or a deepening of commitment if you already have it, or if you're single, like meeting somebody who's interested in taking some sort of action towards you romantically, even if that just means, taking you out on a date or whatever it is. Moving on to the Three of Wands, the card that's in our surrounding energy. This is often about finances, so it makes sense that it's also sitting here next to the Page of Pentacles. Even though this person's back is turned, they're trying to manifest. They may not be paying attention to the fact that it's here or that it's coming. It's very close, but when the Three of Wands appears, you're likely to find that your finances are going much better. So now I am using better on purpose because they weren't as great before. In fact, this can be like the month or the week rather. It could be the whole month, because usually when I say something, when something comes out of my mouth, then even if I don't know why I said it, it usually has some sort of meaning. But, there's these boats. There's these boats in the water there. And so it's supposed to be like a depiction of your ships coming in. So this may be the time, the week, the month that you find your ships are coming in. All those things you've been trying to manifest, they're all showing up. They're all pulling up on you at the same time. We got one boat, we got two boats, and you're just standing there waiting because you've already done the work. You've already put the effort out there. So you're likely to be feeling, very strong, of course, with good reason, very positive. You may be experiencing some other important successes after you had previously been through some sort of difficulties. Maybe there have been challenges in your manifestation. Maybe there have been challenges at work, challenges in your finances, challenges in your relationships. But now things are going far, far better. But it mostly, wands are more so about work and career, typically, than anything else. Although, of course, they can be about anything, just like their primary message tends to be about work. And in work, again, things should be extremely positive, or it refers to work in a very positive way. So if you're looking for a job, this could be the week that you get one. Or again, if you're competing for a promotion or something, like I saw before with the Five of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles, that could be coming in. You are appreciated at your job. Your efforts are being, recognized. People are seeing you, and that's why I'm saying you may get some sort of accolades also this week. Particular recognition, maybe in the form of a promotion. As I said, that my chlorophyll, the vitamins, the liquid chlorophyll, jumped off the table. So maybe that was confirmation. And also, if you don't get those accolades, you don't get that recognition, give it to yourself. Right? Give it to yourself, because you should, again, be feeling good, be feeling proud. Give yourself some credit, a pat on the back, maybe treat yourself to something. If this isn't happening to you, specifically, you're not the one that's having these accomplishments, it could be somebody very close to you, in your immediate surroundings. This is the position or the placement of the surrounding energy. So close friends, family members, co-workers, something happening at the job, BFF, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever, that they could be experiencing it. And maybe that person, since this Three of Wands sits in between the Knight of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, maybe this is your child, if they're the Page of Pentacles, and who is perhaps also an earth sign, or who's having this success, and you should, give them some sort of recognition. Or maybe this is someone else that is perhaps a water sign, or again, heavy water type or of character or behavior, at least this week, who this is surrounding you and it's happening to them. And it may come in the form of some sort of news, like maybe you get like mail or an announcement or something about this achievement or accomplishments or a success or good news. Maybe it might be the Knight of Swords that brings it. But moving on to the Page of Pentacles and work. So the Page of Pentacles can be a card, like I said, they're very slow moving, blah, blah, blah. And they can even represent boredom, even when it's upright. This is like in a general sense, and like you just don't, you kind of like, nothing excites me. I'm over everything. But you don't want to be impulsive. So it's like, even though I'm bored, like I don't want to get crazy like the Knight of Swords. I don't know who needed to hear that. But specific to work, this can be about having like so much work to do that you're like, where am I going to find the time to do it? Maybe you need the energy of the Knight of Swords to get through all the work that you have to do. Or to help you to realize that, sometimes you can put something down and come back to it, like, like an air sign would do, because you can feel like there's just not enough time in the day to do all the work that you have to do. And the idea is to not get like too crazy. You roll up your sleeves, you do what you can, you get busy, and you do what you can. End of sentence, full stop. If there's any like news about work, that's generally good with this card. Maybe there's news about, like I said, promotion or a job in the first place, if you don't have a job, or transfer, or your own business, whatever it is you've been trying to work toward. But this is like a slow and steady wins the race kind of energy, the earth energy. So like, don't rush yourself, because that could lead you to make a mistake. But also like, don't get stuck and like hesitate to ask for help or support or whatever if you need that too. With finances, this is a positive card. It points to success again, financial success, rewards, usually rewards for good old-fashioned like hard work. So you did the work. Here's where you manifested it, and here's where you're being compensated, even if you weren't expecting it yet. This is a time to like, especially I guess if you're looking for work, really like put a value to your skill set, or to your efforts, to the amount of work you're used to doing. And if it's not about work, if it's about a relationship, even if it's a friendship, you may need to put a value on your efforts there too. Like, are you the friend that's always giving, and the other person is not? It's not being reciprocated. I mean, it looks like in this case it is. Again, somebody's rushing toward you. But, or you the other friend. Maybe that's why you want to apologize. Because, this person's always running to help you. Their loyalty is set up different than yours, and you've realized that. And so now you want to give them something. It could be a gift, a financial gift. You want to recognize them. If you aren't being fairly compensated, now might be the time to make some sort of change. Whether that means, again, you start your own business, you start moonlighting, like and doing something else that you like while keeping your job, or you ask for a raise, or you apply for a promotion or transfer or whatever that will, level you up if you don't feel like you're getting what you deserve. So love and relationship, I kind of touched on it already with the Knight of Swords, but again, you may literally be, well, almost literally. I don't think anybody's actually going to pick you up. It could happen. Never mind. It might happen. But you could literally be swept off your feet, again, with the Knight of Swords and the placement of love and relationship. And this could be whether you're male or female. You could be a man and very masculine and not expecting, some woman to come by and make you blush and make you all vulnerable, and it can absolutely happen. Even, you know, a big tough guy, macho guy. If you're currently in a committed relationship, it may, you know, get stronger, deeper, brighter, more communicative, right? Air signs are about communication and logic. It may begin to make more sense, or maybe it's put into perspective. Maybe, you know, some boundaries or lines are written in like in a positive way, where it's like, oh, okay, I know where we are now. You know what I mean? I know where we're headed. I know what the next step is. If you're single and looking, it could really come along when you least expect it. So you could be this person here that's been manifesting love, but your back is turned, and here it comes rushing in, or here it comes towards you from this way with the Knight of Cups. I don't know. It's like, you have to be out and about. So if you're like in the house and you're being bored and you're not really engaging with the rest of society, you're not getting out and doing stuff, then you're not going to meet somebody. That's what I just got from this guy, this page of Pentacles. So, and of course, in order to actually, you know, mix and mingle and meet people, you got to be like in it to win it, you know. Maybe get dressed up and go have a night in the town, go have some fun. You know, it's Labor Day weekend, right? So in the summer with a bang, maybe literally, you know, if you're over 18 or whatever. just do it. All right, I think that's all I have to say about, I think I've said plenty. I've said enough about the Knight of Swords. So physical health with the Knight of Cups. So if you got to take a test, like a medical test this week or something, with the Knight of Cups, or you're waiting for test results already, then again, there's like good news, even though their backs are turned. So maybe you don't, because your back is turned to this, you don't realize, you know, that good news is like running toward you, or you know, good news is here for you. But it is. So you're waiting. I mean, this looks like waiting, right? Because this is going this way and you're going that way. So you're waiting for results, but when they come, it will be good. Maybe he has to like double back and come back around or something like that. Yeah, so just relax and know that the news is going to be good. In general, with your health, the Knight of Cups can mean that you'll soon be feeling better and healthier than you are today. So I'm using the better again, but it's not to suggest that you're not feeling well now. It's just going to mean like you're going to feel even better than you already do, even healthier than you already do soon. That could be because of like a Scorpio energy. You know, Scorpio can be tied to the physical body, like rules like the physical body, and keeping it healthy and sexy. But I said that, and I'm actually seeing what looks like it might be a lot of heavy Pisces energy on the table. And perhaps that is because of the Pisces full moon that occurs this week on the 10th, the last day for which this reading is. We've got the King of Cups, the Hangman, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. So that could very well be the Piscean energy. Yeah, the Ace of Cups is behind this Hangman. We've got another more Pentacles here, which is interesting too, because like we just had the Virgo new moon, and now we're having the Pisces full moon, and we do have all this like earth and water. One of my exes is actually a Virgo sun and a Pisces moon. So both of these moons probably doing something interesting to him. I wouldn't know because I haven't spoken to him, but yeah, probably doing something interesting to him. What else? I guess that's it about the physical health. I mean, you know, what more is there to say about feeling better than you already are, about things going well and they're going to get better. The end. So with the Six of Swords and the placement of spirituality or spiritual health, let's think of the other swords that come before it. So that with the Ace, we get information, we get truth, we get justice, and we get a fresh start. That is often on the heels of some sort of challenge or difficulty because it comes right after the 10. With the 2, we are indecisive, right? We're confused. We kind of. I mean, we're not really. We know what we want to do, but we're afraid to actually do it. So we're in this place of indecision where I'm not going to say yes, I'm not going to say no, because I really want to say yes, but I'm afraid that if I say yes, everybody's going to be look at me and be like, ew, why didn't you say no? You know, so I'm not going to say anything. Then the 3 of Swords is this place of like pain, loss, challenge, separation, disappointment, betrayal, you know, things that are painful, that are hurtful. The 4 of Swords, taking a rest, taking a break while you're healing from all these things. Maybe doing some thinking, some meditation, some figuring things out after a time when you were hurt. You know, let me get my life back in order. Sometimes it's even about planning a vacation, planning a getaway, so that you can do this thinking. Then the 5 of Swords, we're back in this place of conflict, you know, either with others or maybe perhaps we are conflicted, or there's like gossiping going around about us, or somebody's in our ear about somebody else and telling us the wrong thing, you know, maybe not maliciously, but maliciously. But what they're saying about this other person is inaccurate, and we're forming an opinion, and it's just all getting very messy. And then here we are with the 6, and it's moving into this place of calmer, stiller waters. So that's how it is with the spirituality. It's just applied exactly in that way. It's like spiritual answers, spiritual understanding, awareness that we couldn't seem to understand, right? It's just it escaped us, it eluded us because of all those other energies that weren't positive enough, right, for us to be open and to see them. So suddenly, now that we're in this place of calm or stiller waters, and maybe we're so calm that we're able to actually meditate or envision stuff or figure stuff out. Suddenly, these answers are coming our way. And this is sometimes also tied to some sort of change in our routine, you know, the way we do things, or experimenting with new practices or traditions or different practices or traditions than what we normally do, or can be about because of travel. Maybe traveling opens your mind up. I talked in the one of the readings that I recently did about traveling specifically somewhere for spirituality, because the chariot had ended up in the placement of the spiritual. I guess it was last week's weekly, and that, you know, can be about traveling somewhere, you know, like to the Mayan ruins or to the pyramids, somewhere that is going to like inspire and maybe open up, expand your spirituality, you know, to Mecca, to, I said I wanted to go to the Galapagos, you know, just be around all that nature and all those animals, you know, what's left of the earth that hasn't been completely destroyed, species that, you know, we don't get to see anywhere else, and all that kind of stuff. So it can be about that too, like not only traveling, but maybe you're traveling to one of these places where it's just very easy to connect with your own divinity and with the divine, you know, with the universe, with God. And so, hence, your spirituality is, you know, you're receiving answers. You know, your mind is open, your third eye is open. Let's look at some oracle cards now. Just very moved to use these life purpose cards. Nutrition. You conduct healing work with your culinary skills. This can also be about changing diet. Maybe that's how you become healthier. And with the physical health placement, the Knight of Cups, maybe become healthier because you change something about your nutrition, your diet. Or perhaps you are a cook and you are helping to heal other people with nutrition or diet. Career change. You're embarking upon a career that brings you the joy and abundance that you desire and deserve. And again, we could see that here potentially for somebody with the Three of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. Right? Here's the news that job you've been wanting, or that opportunity, financial opportunity you've been wanting, is coming in. You've successfully manifested it in your career or work life. Infinite abundance at the bottom of the deck. It says, you're fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. Animals. I was just talking about animals. You understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance, rather, as the animals are part of your life's work. Interesting. We'll do one more. Okay. It's builder. So this can be about anything. Like just, I get number 8 vibes from it, like an 8 in Supreme Math is a build destroy. So it's like if you're not building, if you're not contributing, then you are, taking away. If you're not with us, you're against us, basically. So this is like wanting to actually, expand and create something. Your innate ability to build and to create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. So this could be whatever it is. It doesn't have to mean that you're, a construction worker, although of course you can be. But whatever this is, whatever you're trying to create, is what this is talking about. And at the bottom of the deck, we have time to decide. Make a decision based on your heart's true desires. So not on, anything else. Really what's in your heart to do. And then people like to get these. So we'll take 4 of these also. It's 2 that kind of came out together. And 2 more that came out together. And on both sides, no message. Okay. I stare at your picture a lot. You are so beautiful. This could have been that hermit. Remember I mentioned pictures? I said something about pictures on your computer. He was peeking into that computer. Or she was peeking into that computer. The hermit also, I did not mention in love and relationships, similar to what I said about the Knight of Cups. For me, and the Knight of Cups is often about an ex returning, if it has to do with love and relationships. So not just love coming, but it's somebody that you know. So maybe not an ex, but somebody that you know. The hermit, whether upright or in reverse, in love, is almost always about rekindling a relationship from the past, like 99.9% of the time. Anyway, I have never known anyone else like you before. My feelings for you have caught me by surprise. Maybe that's what the tower was about. Remember I said the hermit was shocked because the tower was right behind it? Maybe the hermit never expected to fall for a Queen of Swords. You know, never expected to fall for an Aquarius. Or somebody like that. Or somebody so independent. Or whatever it is. But very unexpectedly, they have. Then we have, I understand you perfectly. Let's not fight anymore. Can we call a truce? So remember, these two people had their backs to each other. And then the Three of Cups was in the middle. That's the truce. That's the celebration. That's the reuniting. Let's get to know each other better. Things are moving too fast. This I highly, highly recommend. We did not see the Chariot here. And the Chariot can be like in love, like one or both pushing maybe too fast or speeding through the relationship or attempting to. And so we didn't see that. But I do feel that where there is like a solid foundation of friendship and like knowing somebody's character is where it's safe to fall in love. And I've had to learn that the hard way. I'm sharing it with you in case you haven't had that lesson yet. You know, maybe you won't have to because you just got it from me instead. There's a song like that. The very next time she'll be my friend, someone that I can depend on. Because, you know, maybe that's not what he did before. So it's like next time I get another chance or I fall in love again. As a matter of fact, that's what the song says. If I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. So lady, the man, the whatever it is, non-binary, right? The they should be a friend if we can help it, right? If we can make that solid foundation at the bottom. Do we want to do twin flame? Guess we might as well. Woo! Jeez. That card fell down and like got in the wheel of my, it landed like in the wheel of my chair, stuck there somehow. I just had to pull it out. All right. At the bottom of the deck, we have free will, choices, decisions, contact, inaction. Action cannot be forced. So like neither one can be forced. Inaction can't be forced and action can't be forced. We have balance with this yin and yang. Yin and yang often says to me like power couple. Like if we can manage to finally come together, we're going to set the world on fire. But we have to merge like this. Yin and yang, darkness and light. Stay centered in your higher self. Mirroring, reflection, twin, wholeness, synchronicity abounds. We could be seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities that maybe that's one of the forms of communication that comes through with the Knight of Swords here. We have offer. As you can, we got plenty of offers, plenty of cups and things being handed out. Offer, gesture, engagement, wedding. Rejoice in your union. I'm actually doing this reading early because I have a wedding, or not a wedding, a renewal of vows to go to. And it's over a period of 2 days. The 3rd and the 4th, I have this event to go to. So I'm like, let me do the reading in advance. And we got runner. Escape from emotion and confusion on the run. Not this week. There's no escaping this emotion. No, not this week. You're going to have to deal with these emotions with 2 Knights of Cups, the King of Cups, the Hangman. So that runner may stop like dead in his tracks this week. Make a free will choice to make an offer. Maybe the shocking realization is that you guys are mirroring each other and that you have some sort of special connection that you hadn't realized before. You know, so that moves, oh, let me make an offer. I didn't know that I felt this way. And then if you are so lucky as to merge together, again, the things that you can do when you're one of these sorts of power couples. And that's what I have for you this week. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I do appreciate it. And if you want to stick around for another moment, I will read about what it means for Venus to be entering Virgo. Venus in Virgo, devoted, perfectionist, service-oriented. So I'm not the only one that thinks it. It's an actual thing that Virgos try to be perfectionists. I've mentioned my son. I've used my son as examples many, many times. Probably my ex once or twice. Anyway, September 4th through September 29th. September 29th is, Michaelmas, the feast day of Archangel Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel. Anyway, love takes a sensible turn when Venus moves into the earthy sign of Virgo. Because Venus represents our relationships and Virgo is the analytical sign that focuses on life's more practical matters, this transit gives us the opportunity to work harder on our partnerships. This is the time of getting down to the nitty-gritty so that we can figure out what is working in our relationships and what isn't. Virgo likes to trade in the passion normally associated with Venus to focus on the finer details in life. Virgo is the librarian with a ruler, straight back, tight bun in the hair, and studious eyes that is busy perfecting her craft. There we go with the perfection. Virgo doesn't have time or patience for all of Venus's flights of fancy. So this could be Venus. Remember I said this flighty energy? Venus rules air, right? She rules Libra. She rules Gemini. No, she has work to do. The she they're talking about is Virgo. When Venus is in Virgo, we're being urged to become more reserved and discriminating when it comes to matters of the heart. You may begin to, because sometimes Virgos can be like very, very conservative, reserved. Yeah, I guess is a good word, but conservative about like love and sex and stuff. Like, no, we're not going to have sex in the car. Anyway, yeah, that kind of thing could happen. So more reserved and discriminating when it comes to matters of the heart. You may begin to feel that if you can't have a perfect love, you'd rather not have any love at all. Can you imagine? I mean, nobody's perfect. Like, this is Virgo just sort of torturing itself. And I think I talked about them last week too. I think I'm not, oh yes, of course I did. It was the new moon in Virgo. And I was saying how like they're always moving the goal post or goal line from themselves, trying to achieve better in everything. I got to have more stuff. I got to make more money. I got to look, better. I got to be prettier. I got to be more handsome. I got to be, it's just always, I don't know. You need to take some time, Virgo, to stop and just live and enjoy. Anyway, for those that are coupled, Venus in Virgo is a cosmic opportunity to take a step back and to determine if we're getting what we deserve out of our relationships. Maybe that's what the judgment is about, that sort of crossroad where you're going to like evaluate. If single, this is the time when we'll see the red flags that we might normally miss with any love interests. In fact, this transit may have us more in love with work and service than with love itself. Boring. But, it is what it is. The downside to this time of going over our relationships with a fine-tooth comb is that we may end up nitpicking our partners more than usual because, we find it difficult to let the little things go. Yes, Virgos can be very much like that. And I'm not saying this because I dislike them or, in fact, like I said, I have a few Virgo exes. It's like I'm in love with like the planet Mercury. You got to be a Virgo or a Gemini for me to have a serious relationship with you, apparently. I don't know. So I like you guys. It's just, it just is what it is. It's possible to keep excess criticism under control by having constructive dialogue, right? Maybe by building. Maybe that's why we got the build card. Constructive dialogue. rather than just pointing out each and every fault that we see. This is a great time to make necessary adjustments in our relationship so that we move forward more positively. In fact, your relationship may end up being better off because of Virgos and Venuses in Virgo. All of this relationship analysis doesn't sound very sexy, but despite how it may seem, Venus in Virgo can be passionate. That's because Virgo is an earth sign, and it's all about appreciating food, art, nature, and people. In fact, we appreciate the best of those things because Venus is in Virgo, and that includes what goes on between the sheets. Okay? However, we'll all be a little bit more conservative. That's the word I used before. When they said reserved, I said conservative. When Venus is in Virgo. So don't expect any quick flings during this transit. I disagree with that because, like I said, I saw, I stand corrected. I said I saw what was meant to be, or what was intended to be, a one-night stand, but it turned into something. So they're saying don't expect any quick flings. If it turns into something, then it's no longer a quick fling. Like you tried to have a quick fling and it didn't work. Like that time in the bathroom at the restaurant. That was supposed to be just, and then it was a thing. All right, so anyway, let's talk about Mercury retrograde also. That Venus in Virgo, by the way, was from tarot.com, www.tarot.com. And it went on to talk about what it means if you were born with that transit in your natal chart, if you want to read further. But I am moving on, still on tarot.com, but I've moved on to Mercury retrograde in Libra. It might feel like your love life has gone haywire when the planet that rules communication, perception, and thought retrogrades through relationship-oriented Libra. Mercury retrograde in this sign can feel a bit like a not-so-welcome blast from the past because this energy likes to stir up drama, causing old relationship issues to reappear. If we've had any resentments in love or in the relationship department, this is the time when they could come spilling out. This is an especially tough time because it might feel like we aren't even speaking the same language as the people that we're normally in sync with. Miscommunication can easily happen and our patience may wear thin. It's best to take a deep breath and to try to decipher what others are really trying to say during this Mercury retrograde. So if you care enough to make sure that you're communicating effectively and that you're hearing, you're listening and you're hearing, then you will maybe pause, stop, and remind yourself that it's Mercury retrograde. So, I want to make sure I understand you. Let's talk about this further. And that is what we have this week. So, I wish you all luck with it. I can quickly go over the transits that are happening from my notes instead of my head. Yep, September 6th, 12:58 a.m., Pallas enters Cancer. So that's Pallas, the asteroid. I skipped the 5th. 12:05 a.m. on the 5th, Venus enters Virgo. 0 degrees Virgo. Also on the 6th at 8:41 a.m., the true node, which is Taurus, will be semi-sextile Chiron. Chiron, the asteroid, the wounded healer, which has been located in Aries for quite some time. It's still there. And moving on to September 9th at 11:38. This is the one I was talking about. 9/9/11/11. Mercury goes retrograde, 8 degrees Libra. And then lastly on September 10th at 5:59 a.m., the full moon in Pisces occurs, 17 degrees Pisces. Oh, so I said I felt like the number 8 when I looked at the build card. So it's giving me number 8 vibes, and we have Mercury 8 degrees in Libra, and we have the full moon 17, which equals 8 degrees Pisces. So maybe that's why the 8 came up for me. Anywho, whatever the reason was, those are the transits. And I hope you guys have a great week. Enjoy your Labor Day if you're in the United States and you're celebrating, you know, cookouts and all that wonderful stuff. Have a good time. Like I said, I will be at a wedding or a vow renewal, a 2-day wedding. Namaste.